Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Thanks to the lady who called in to say that our show really sucks and has sucked from 4:05 on. So she's been listening for the solid hour. I know she didn't really say that, but that's how I took it. Screw you, baby, and keep listening. Don't ever bring me information like that again. There are so many lightweights listening to the radio, and this in L.A. in particular. We have to wade, and I mean just wade through the lightweight wannabe crowd out there. It's going to be tough, but we're going to do it. Okay, 1-800-449-8686. Don't forget our website. Well, go and get our CD, and then forget our website, philhendrieshow.com for that CD. For my friend's place, $23.50. It's a good deal. It's a good investment. You may not, do anything you want with a CD, but buy it. $20 goes to my friend's place, a resource center for homeless and runaway kids in Hollywood. Excuse me. Very nice people. They do great work, and you'll be glad you did. We've got approaching about 110 grand for my friend's place. The Pope has been out. A group of North American rabbis have responded to an appeal by Pope John Paul to forgive the Roman Catholic Church for past sins. So what is it? The Pope has been all over the world in the last few weeks asking for the world's forgiveness. Most recently, the North American Board of Rabbis sees the proposal as a practical step following the Pope's historical plea March 12th to pardon the Roman Catholic Church for past sins against Jews, heretics, women, and native people. And Jewish communities are debating whether the Pope's remarks went far enough, especially concerning the Holocaust, an albatross around the neck of Jewish Catholic relations for more than 50 years. And the reason for that is that there is a feeling afoot among many historians that the Roman Catholic Church struck a deal with the Nazi Party of Germany in World War II that they would keep mum or silent on the Jewish question if they could continue practicing unharassed in Germany. Professor Robert Greene, he is a historian and a professor of social studies at Notre Dame University, is on the phone with us this afternoon. Dr. Greene, are you there?
Yes, Phil, right here.
And you have been looking at this question and have been giving an overview of the Pope's apology to various groups. Can you give us some idea of the impact of this, of the Roman Catholic Church apologizing for these vast and varied sins? And what exactly are we talking about here? We're talking about the Holocaust.
Well, we're talking about the Holocaust. We are talking about bigotry against women and native people, and by that, the North American discovery of the European conquerors, such as Columbus and Magellan, and the treatment of native peoples by these discoverers, by these explorers. We're talking about the Inquisition. There is a broad list of crimes committed against the human race by the Roman Catholic Church. So when the Pope goes around the world asking for forgiveness, he's touching on a few of them, but I don't think he is touching on all of them. And there are a lot of ways to fix this problem, Phil, and I think we need to discuss what those are. Right now, the Holy Father is in Israel and is meeting with these rabbis to discuss how they can begin to bring together the Roman Catholic Church and the Jewish faith.
Well, you sound a little skeptical.
Well, I suppose to some extent I am. It is my job as a social historian to look at the big picture. The Catholic Church has done some things over the last 500 years that are not pretty. And I think perhaps it's time to look at some answers and solutions beyond just the usual "I'm sorry," go down to Israel and kiss the Wailing Wall, or whatever it is that the Pope is talking about.
Well, what would those things be? When the Pope of the Catholic Church begins to ask for forgiveness for the many crimes. I grew up as a Catholic, and I remember beginning to question my faith when I heard historically about all of these things, whether it was the Inquisition or whether it was the, as you mentioned, the European explorers, what they did to the native peoples of North America. And that is one of the things that shook me in my belief in Catholicism. So now a historical moment when...
Yeah, not to interrupt you, Phil, it's historical when the Pope says he's sorry. but I don't think it's so historical that the problem is solved. And
well, what are you talking? What more could the Catholic Church do, or could the Pope do? I mean, in other words,
well, what more? I mean, you're talking about one of the wealthiest institutions in the history of the world.
I mean, what else could he do, though? He is.
You're talking about one of the wealthiest institutions in the history of the world. So if you can just follow along a little bit here, we're talking about the Roman Catholic Church. There's a lot of church property. You know, there's some things out there. So when one of the wealthiest institutions in the history of the world says, we're sorry, let's move on, as a social historian and as just a thinking man, I may have, I'm not saying I do, but I may have a problem with that.
Well, what is your problem with it? He's taken the unprecedented step representing all Catholics and saying we're sorry to the Jewish people, to the native peoples, to the women, to all of these groups that had been held down and officially, I mean, brutalized in many ways by the Catholic Church.
Well, what we're saying here, Phil, is it's nice. The I'm sorry is nice. I think there's a couple of more things that can be done. I was sort of alluding to it. It's one of the wealthiest institutions in the history of the world, the Catholic Church. They have enormous amounts of property. They have the largest and most expensive churches and schools in the world. They have the largest private fleet of non-military airplanes and ships in the world. The Catholic Church operates research centers, meteorologic polar bases, and outposts. They have a multi-million-dollar line of men and women's apparel and children's school uniforms. The Catholic Church is its own sovereign state. The Catholic Church has property that's the largest landowner in the world and that has the largest private art collection in the world. Okay?
So you're saying what?
Well, I didn't think that I had to spell it out, but what I'm saying is...
well, forgive me if you have to spell it out, but spell it out, okay?
All right, I'll spell it out. There's a little thing in this world called money. And
all right, so what are you saying, reparations?
I'm saying there's a little thing in this world called money. And it seems to make the world go around, I don't know. The Catholic Church seems to have a lot of it. You get my capiche?
Yeah, I understand, okay.
Well, all right, so if the Catholic Church is loaded down with this kind of money, what do you think the next step is?
So you're talking about reparations?
If the shoe fits.
You're talking about reparations?
If the shoe fits.
Well, is the shoe fitting here?
I would say, given the fact that the Japanese Americans had reparations paid to them by the U.S. government, given the fact that a lot of African Americans are looking for reparations, given the fact that a lot of these German companies are being sued now by former Jewish families, given the fact that former POWs are suing the Japanese government for using them as slave labor in World War II. Now you're asking me what I'm saying about the Catholic Church is this. They got a lot of money. There's a lot of people that they owe. They owe
women and...
They owe women, they owe Indians, they owe Jews, they owe. And I think it's time for Pope John Paul to get his lips off that Wailing Wall and to start writing some checks. I don't know how much.
What does that crack mean?
What?
The crack about get his lips off the Wailing Wall.
No, what I meant was, Mr. Hendrie, that Pope John Paul is down there in Israel, and he's at the Wailing Wall, and he's making all of these public pronouncements. But I haven't seen him get out the checkbook yet.
All right, so the answer to this...
The answer to the problem, sir, is let's get the checkbook out, and let's start talking Turkey. And until the Catholic Church is willing to do that, I think it's a lot of hot air. It's a lot of papal hot air, and I guess a lot of people are impressed with it, but it's a lot of hot air nonetheless. And I think you got to get up off the ground and quit with the crocodile tears, write some checks.
All right. I have to say you're very candid, gentlemen.
That's what I do, sir.
This is Dr. Robert Green. He is a professor of social studies at Notre Dame University, and it is his feeling that the Pope's apologies on behalf of the Catholic Church, apologizing to Jewish people, to women, to Native Americans, to all kinds of people who in the past might have been brutalized by the Catholic Church, isn't enough. He says they got to get out the checkbook. Our number is 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Dr. Robert Green from Notre Dame University is with us. He's a professor of social studies, and he has responded, because the news story is that, and it has been a news story for the past few days, the Pope is going around. I say going around. He's visited a number of countries and has essentially apologized for the treatment of a great many people at the hands of the Catholic Church down through the ages. The past sins against Jews, the past sins against heretics, against women, against native peoples, these have been apologized for by Pope John Paul. Dr. Green, your opinion, though, is that it's not far enough, correct?
Well, no, sir, I don't think it's far enough.
And your opinion is also that it's time for them to make with the money?
You've got a nice colloquial way of putting it, Mr. Hendrie.
Well, I mean, you said that he had to start writing some checks.
Well, I'm saying that the wealthiest institution in the world, the Roman Catholic Church, I think, essentially should write 5 checks. And if Pope John Paul really wanted to right the wrongs, I think he'd go back to the Vatican, he'd get that little checkbook out that says Catholic Church on it, he'd open it up, and on a check, and I'm sure all of your listeners, and you have too, Mr. Hendrie, you see pay to the order of, and then there's a big blank space.
Right.
Pay to the order of, first check, Jews. Pay to the order of...
Okay, so the first check should say pay to the order of...
All Jews.
All Jews.
Right.
Second check?
Second check, pay to the order of... What do you want to call them? All the women of the world, or something like that. Third check, pay to the order of Indians. Fourth check, pay to the order of who? Like the Chinese or these people? Because
why the Chinese?
Well, all the Asians, because they have that Buddhist religion, which the Catholics tried to beat out of them.
Are you talking about the missionaries?
Yeah, well, no, they went over there and they used to beat these people until they believed in Jesus. So you pay to the order of all the Chinese, and then you pay to the order of all of the, whatever the hell you want, the Eskimos or something like that. See, the Catholics have either beaten up Eskimos or Chinese or women or something like that. The time is for Pope John Paul, Mr. Hendrie, to start writing checks.
All right, let's go to the phones here. I would say beating up the Buddhists, but I do know what you're saying about colonialism, and perhaps their place in that should be analyzed. Carlsbad on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello. Carlsbad, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, ma'am.
This gentleman here, maybe a historian, but he doesn't know anything about being a thinker of the people. Anybody with a brain realizes that when someone, especially Catholics or Christians, when you ask for forgiveness, that's something sacred and it goes beyond money. I mean, these people who were crucified, if we would throw money on them, is that really going to help them? If you're such a thinker, you should get yourself on a level that's a little higher than monetary, and I'd like to finish my thought.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to realize that people, everyday people, understand the magnitude of what this Pope is doing, and you're sort of out there in left field looking to money. You don't have to be a religious person per se, but certainly you can realize that religion itself and the act of forgiveness is sacred.
Are you Catholic?
And it's something that's going to change.
Are you Catholic?
I'm a horrible Catholic.
What's your Catholic?
I don't claim to be
a
good one,
the
but
Pope
I know something.
He's taken the easy way out. He owes these people. You know, I love these people who say that money isn't everything. Those are the ones.
He's the first Pope in 2,000 years to take the easy way out. It took 2,000 years for someone to do something of this magnitude.
What are you sticking up for?
And you want to say that it put it in such a trite context.
Wait a second. What are you sticking up for him
if
for?
You're a historian, well, because everyone knows that humans make mistakes, but that doesn't make the entire religion or the entire millions and billions of Catholics bad.
Well, you listen to the...
our legacy...
Catholics have a way of twisting stuff. You guys have a way of taking the facts and twisting them all over the place. I'm telling you that it's easy to say that money isn't everything. It's more difficult to say, you know what, we do owe you, let's start writing the checks.
So
John Paul, he's down there in Jewland and he's got his lips on the Wailing Wall. He ought to go back up to Rome and pull a checkbook out. What's so tough about that? This is an institution.
What's tough is doing what's harder, and what's doing harder in the mind of anybody with a soul.
What's doing
Say,
harder?
I'm sorry, and that's a starting point, and that is a sincere starting point.
All right, okay, wait. You were making a point. What is your point again, Dr. Green?
I want to ask this lady, what's so tough about pushing your lips up against the Wailing Wall down there in Israel, What's so tough about that?
Okay, I'll answer you. Why don't you ask the millions of Buddhists and Muslims and religious people
Oh, boy, he owes
what
them
that
too.
wall means?
He owes them, too.
And if you realize what that wall means, you'll know what a great act that
the
is.
Buddhists couldn't care less about that wall. What are you talking about, Buddhists?
No, I'm telling you, the people of the world respect what he's doing.
They'll respect it a lot more when they take that check down to Vaughn's or down to Safeway and they cash that thing.
Which is what you're not grasping for a historian. You're not grasping
I
the
grasp
religious...
it. They will respect them a lot more when they put that check through the Versatile machine at the B of A or when they put that into a money market fund. That's respect.
That's why the Pope
the
is
check.
the Pope and you're not, because he is on a different level.
Yeah, he's on a different level.
That you could never get to because you don't seem to realize.
He's on a different level. A whole lot of zeros. That's his different level.
Well, what have you done in your life to do any different?
Well, ma'am, I'll tell you this. If I owed somebody, I'd be writing checks.
Well, it's really easy to criticize, but it's not harder to come up with a better solution.
Okay, I thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your call. I mean, so you're very strongly in favor of... Hello? Well, we lost the good doctor. 1-800-449-8686. I guess you're going to have to get on the phone there, Mike, and dial him back up. Dr. Robert Greene is with us. He's a social historian from Notre Dame University, and he's talking to us about the apologies that Pope John Paul has been issuing to the Jewish people of the world, to heretics. I don't know how you apologize to. Do we have him back? Dr. Greene?
Yeah, right here. And I thought for a minute you hung up on me because I didn't know what...
No, I didn't hang up on you. I'm just saying that, we had a little bit of a connection problem. But you are essentially saying that the Pope needs to come through with some money as opposed to just...
I'm saying you can go down there, you can kiss the Wailing Wall, you can mea culpa. I saw him hugging a cross the other day. I opened up the newspaper. It was the Kansas City Star or something, and there he is hugging a cross. And I thought, boy, I actually stood up and applauded because it looked so good. And
what do you mean you stood up and applauded?
I was having breakfast at the Hyatt Hotel. I opened up the paper. There's the Pope hugging a cross. I got up and I said, holy Jesus. I threw my napkin down and I broke into applause. It was such a great act. And
so it's an act. So in other words, what you are saying, what he is doing...
I'm not saying it's necessarily an act from the standpoint of him not meaning it. I'm saying rather he do that than have to make with some money. That's all.
No, but you just said you stood up and applauded like it was an act.
No, I'm just saying it's better for him.
I don't know. I mean...
it's better for him that he doesn't have to spend money.
All right. It sounded to me like there was just a little bit of sarcasm there. Maryland, New York on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir. You're on the air.
I've been listening to the Good Luck Doctor, and I can't imagine sitting in Notre Dame, working for Notre Dame, being paid by Notre Dame and the Catholics, that this guy has the nuts to do and say what he's saying on national
I got to make a living. I
really got to tell the doctor, Doc, the Pope doesn't need to apologize.
Sir, would you get off of that speaker? Would you get off the speakerphone? Would you get off the speakerphone? Hey, sir, would you get off the? All right.
Hemisphere.
Would you get off your speakerphone? All right. See you later. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show here. Let's go to Miami. Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Greene. I just wanted to make a comment. You're really out of touch with what's going on here, and you sit up there in your ivory tower, and you don't understand. And as a Jewish person down here, I'd like to say that I don't want you speaking on behalf of me, and no amount of money could ever
You're not Jewish.
Any people. No, let me finish,
How are you
sir.
Jewish? How are you
sir,
Jewish?
Let me finish.
How are you Jewish?
No amount of... I'm a Reformed Jew. I was bar mitzvah.
You're
I'm Jewish enough that if somebody came into power, they'd take me away to the camps with the rest of the Jews.
What does that mean? You're
let me tell you something,
I don't know
sir.
what that means. You're a Reformed Jew. What does that mean?
Sir, let me tell you something.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Anybody else?
Why doesn't anybody listen to what I'm
Church
saying here?
done?
I don't know why anybody's not listening to me. I guess it's because I suck, but so do you, Doc. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. With me on the Phil Hendrie Show is Dr. Robert Greene, a professor of social studies, and we're talking about the Pope John Paul and his apologies concerning the treatment of the Catholic Church of various groups of people. Now, I made the point, Dr. Greene, at the beginning of the hour, I was raised Roman Catholic, And I remember having my faith basically destroyed by many of these same stories and many of this same history. And
So you know what people are talking about.
yes, of course I know what people are talking. I had a Christian brother when I was in high school, and I was taught by the Christian brothers in high school. And he showed me a book because I was doing a study on, or I was doing a paper actually on the Soviet Union and the history of communism in Russia, and the book was called Jews and Communism, and it was clearly anti-Semitic, and it was given to me by a Roman Catholic cleric, and I never forgot that experience.
So what happened?
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir, but you said that a Christian brother...
A Christian brother gave me a pamphlet called Jews and Communism, which traced the involvement of Jews like Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in the development, in the orientation and development of communism, as if to say that all Jews were communists.
And so that's what I'm talking about right there, Phil. These Catholics have had a hard-on for Jews. And so,
all right, sir, I don't know that you need to put it in those terms.
Well, I'm just saying, what better thing to do than to let's start to make with some of that folding stuff. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years of abuse of Jews, of these women, Indians, these Chinese people, these Japanese, all of those Chinese people down in Bangkok and in, New Guinea, too. And
just the Chinese?
What?
You're talking about in New Guinea?
No, I'm just saying all of the Asians. These Catholics beat up on them, kicked the crap out of them out there during the Boxer Rebellion, went over there and tried to jam this Christianity down their throat. And what did they get for it? These Chinese turned around, kicked all the Catholics out, and turned everybody a commie. So I think the Pope got serious and got honest. He just laced the money on the Chinese.
Well, if the Pope gave some of the Roman Catholic churches money to the Chinese, do you think that they would allow Catholicism to be practiced again in China?
I don't know. But, yeah, maybe. I thought they already were.
No, you said they kicked them out.
But ever since the other guy died.
I don't know. 1-800-449-8686. Gainesville, Florida, on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yes,
I don't know why I'm losing patience here, but I am.
No,
hi.
You said that they...
I know what I said. Yes, sir?
Yes, hi.
Yes, sir.
I was calling to say that first, I'm a Southern Baptist, and I share many of the good doctor's views about Roman Catholicism. I don't like it. My wife's a Roman Catholic, but I don't appreciate a lot of the things they've done throughout history. And
right.
I think he's right in that they've wronged many, many hundreds of millions of people. However,
you got it, my friend.
I am stunned to hear a professor from Notre Dame, which I have always respected from the 4 years I lived in Indiana on a
you ought to
military
teach
base.
there. You ought to teach there.
No, I've taught at the University of Maryland before, but I'm stunned that you would have such a simplistic approach as to say, well, let's throw money at it and make it right. Because for years, people have gotten on corporations for their willingness to throw money at a problem and make it go away.
Well,
but
wait a minute.
not
We got to strike while the iron's hot. The Pope is down there on his knees in Jewland right now. He's putting his lips on that wall.
This is a slippery slope that we've gone down. We started with the Japanese. You're talking about so many cases of potential compensation for wrongs. There are all kinds of people around the world who've been wronged, and all kinds of people who are.
And how about them blacks, too? The Catholics didn't stick up for the blacks.
Yeah,
you got to get the blacks in there, too.
If you could identify
the Catholic Church
individual...
operates 150 senior centers worldwide. They gross in excess of $500 million. Okay?
So Bill Gates has a lot of money.
Oh, my God, they got tons. Yeah, Bill Gates.
Right.
I didn't see Bill Gates sticking any Jews in an oven, did you? I didn't see Bill Gates making any Indians Catholic or anything. Bill Gates can keep his money.
My wife is from the Philippines.
She's what?
She's from the same tribe that ate
There you go.
Magellan.
That's what I'm talking about. The Catholics beat up on the Filipinos. They beat up on all of them.
My wife would laugh and call what you're saying ludicrous.
Your wife was a
Catholics today
a cannibal?
Are somehow guilty and should pay money to people who are at least hundreds of years removed from the wrongs you're talking about.
But your wife had the crap kicked out of her. Her people had the crap kicked out of her by the Pope.
You know what? That was hundreds of years ago.
That's the same. It doesn't matter, man. You know what? All that means is
because there's money. Let's go get money.
No, all that means is a lot of interest compounding.
You know, you really ought to be an attorney.
Doesn't your wife want a piece of the action?
You ought to be a trial attorney.
Does your wife want a piece of the action, or doesn't she?
Does she what?
A piece of the action.
The money?
Yes, money.
Oh, everybody wants money.
The money.
But
the money.
Engage in an academic discussion.
Yeah,
with
as opposed
people
to
who are going to apply common sense to this problem.
Oh, come
You're not going
on,
to get very far talking about, hey, let's throw money at it.
No, I'm just saying, strike while the iron's hot, my man. And you're standing there in the back of the room.
Right.
Yeah, and you're standing there in the back of the room. You're toddling while everybody else. If we band together now, we can all get rich.
Hey, how
I'm
about
not saying all get rich.
I'm a Southerner.
Well, you guys have got your problems.
I feel aggrieved at what the North did to the South after the Civil War.
That's a wash.
When am I going to get my money?
No, that's a wash because all the stuff you did to the Negroes.
Yeah, right. Hey,
especially you Baptists.
Fine, we'll pay them and the North pays us. I think we'll get more money from the North.
Yeah, but you got to pay double because you are a Southerner and a Southern Baptist.
This is
the Baptists got to pay and the Southerners got to pay, so you pay twice.
Well, why do the Baptists have to pay?
Because the Baptists were stringing them up.
Notre Dame academics has dropped slightly.
Southern Baptist knows how to tie a noose, and that's about it. And
okay, that is absolutely uncalled for.
What?
What you just said to that man.
What, about the Southern Baptist tying a noose?
You got it. And by the way, didn't the Southern Baptists apologize years before the Catholic Church did?
Yeah,
all right, I'm sorry.
A lot of the Catholic Church, but
I'm
I think
sorry.
the Pope ought to be commended
he's sorry.
for what he's done.
Thank you, sir, very much for your call this evening. I appreciate it. 1-800-449-8686. Boyle Heights on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're on the air.
Oh, I'm calling in regards to the fact that I'm an African-American
woman. Oh, you're black. What did you think of that Southern Baptist trying to give me a whole bunch of heat about the black folks?
He could give you a whole bunch of heat. The fact of the matter is...
Did you love that?
The man is making an apology to the mass.
I stuck up for you guys, though.
You know, he doesn't have enough money to give to people. You know, so it's a positive thing that he's doing toward making an apology for the masses.
The Pope is filthy rich, lady.
Yeah, but he can't come out of his own pocket. He's been filthy rich through the Catholic Church,
well, that's what I'm talking about.
Own money.
You start right. Well, who do you think signs the checks for the church?
That's neither here nor there. The bottom line is the man is making an attempt to right a wrong.
Are you speaking figuratively?
What?
I'm speaking...
No, I'm asking the doctor, ma'am. Are you speaking, who do you think writes the checks?
Yes.
The Pope?
Yes.
In other words, when they have to pay the water bill...
Okay.
He signs it.
Pope John Paul.
Get the hell out of here.
Ma'am, if you don't believe me, you can take a look at the office of the comptroller.
He may be the CEO over everything, although he doesn't come down to that level and sign the Pope. Just
ma'am,
the bill for the water bill.
I swear to Almighty God, I've talked to the comptroller of the Vatican.
Where do you get your data from?
I get my data from the comptroller of the Roman Catholic Vatican, the Diocese of Rome, that the Pope signs the water bills.
I'd like to see that data.
I want to see. So when they're paying the water bill for, what is that thing, the Sistine Chapel?
Oh, so now you're going to laugh at me.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm not going to matter of the fact that you think that he really has that kind of business. Look, the man is aging. How? Come on.
Wait a second. When they pay the water, who do they pay the water bill to?
They pay it to the Rome Water Authority. I don't know what it is.
And they write a check.
Yeah, they write a check.
How much is it for the Sistine Chapel?
For the Sistine Chapel, the water bill probably goes into the hundreds of dollars every month.
And he signs the check and puts it in the envelope.
Yes.
Oh, my. And he works for Notre Dame?
No. You talking about me?
Yeah, what school you work for?
I work at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something. It ain't as great as it sounds.
It probably isn't because you're over the radio talking like this. I mean, you're really risking a lot here, and those are strong opinions that you have. And, you know, if that's how you feel,
ma'am, can I ask, ma'am, with all due respect, can I ask him, if he doesn't write the checks, then what the hell does he do? What
Your guess is as good as mine.
There you go. And I'm saying pay to the order of Jews.
But he doesn't have enough money. He has to pay everyone. Who is he going to write the check to?
You know if he sells a pair of those shorts that he wears?
Which Jewish sect
to the whole Jew thing. I don't know. Where's the Central Jew office? I don't know. You write it. Whatever.
The Central Jew office.
Yeah, okay.
I'm simply saying.
And if he wanted to write a check to the Native American people, would he write it to what? Sitting Bull?
I don't know. You write it to the Indians.
Which tribe?
You know what you do? You go to a casino and drop a whole lot on the crap table. There you go.
You know, no, really. On a serious note,
yes, ma'am. I'm being serious.
You sound a little foolish. Considering,
you're
a professor and all that. you sound a little foolish in your your perspective toward what he's doing. And it sounds as though you have some personal issues toward the Pope and the Catholic Church.
Yeah, you work for Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking this way?
It's a job, guys. Aren't I allowed to make a living? I don't understand.
You aren't allowed to make a living. You're sitting here talking about, hey, write a check to the Jews, and the Pope's down in Jewland kissing the wall? Good God!
And all the parents who are listening to this and their children or know someone who goes to Notre Dame
I get it.
needs to make note that they have teachers like this there teaching their children.
I get it. All right, I understand. So what you people are saying basically is don't speak out against the Catholic Church.
No, by no means.
That's exactly what this is.
No, it isn't.
That's exactly.
No, I think
and
you're
it's
really
been going
taking
for
it wrong.
500 years. You can't speak out.
No, we have not said that. I am taking exception, as this lady is, and thank you, ma'am, for your call this evening.
Okay, thanks for having me.
I'm taking exception, as this lady is, to the comment, pay to the order of all Jews, and these comments about Native Americans, and the Pope signs the water bill. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686, with Dr. Robert Green, talking about the Pope apologizing for the past ills of the Catholic Church. And Dr. Green, you have been very vocal in saying the Catholic Church needs to do more. They need to pay. And you're talking about them writing checks for all Jews, all heretics. You're saying the Pope has so much power that he can write these checks himself.
Well, obviously, he does have some fiduciary power there in the Vatican. And I'm simply saying, talk's cheap. There's an old saying, Mr. Hendrie, money talks, and then there's bull crap. And I'm saying
there's an old saying, money talks, and then there's bull crap.
Yes, sir. And I'm saying that let's start seeing some of those dollars, so that a lot of these people will finally be quiet about it, and we can move on.
All right, so we can shut up all of those Jews and all of those women.
Well, how much of this do you want to hear? That's all I'm saying. Pope John Paul apologized. It's not good enough. You cut a check and those people will shut up. I guarantee it.
It's very difficult for me to determine whose side you're on. Here's Venice on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Your guest is so reprehensible in his
I'm
views.
reprehensible. I'm honest.
Yeah, you're honest.
About what
but
is needed.
You're what?
About what is needed here, as opposed to a lot of rhetoric.
Yeah, but you just said, sure, you see, you're right. An apology is needed, but beyond that, I mean, that's the main thing is the apology. But now you're saying, we just cut a few checks. That'll shut the Jews up. How offensive do you think that is to people?
Wait a second. Look, even the Jewish rabbis said it's not enough. They even said so. What would be your next step?
I think that more has to be said about it. More has to be printed about it, not one little vocalization.
And then maybe a check.
Well, you know what? If a check is to come, that's great, too, but that's not the end of it all. That's what you think is the solution, and then you saying that the Pope is writing checks.
Well, you're Jewish. You're Jewish. Wouldn't that satisfy you?
How do you know he's Jewish?
How do you know I'm Jewish?
Trust me, I know.
Now I can answer you because you've guessed, and you are wrong. I am not Jewish. But I respect the Jews as I respect the non-Jews.
No, there's a little bit of that Jewish. Are you black?
No, I'm not black.
All right, we don't need to be talking like this, okay?
Well, all right, then I missed my mark.
Exactly.
449-8686, Tampa on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello there, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Green.
Yes.
You are, without a doubt in my mind, the perfect example of why our educational system has gone awry. For you to earn a Ph.D. with your moral, ethical, and professional beliefs is actually a travesty.
Because I'm coming up with the only solution that's going to work?
No, sir, because you're coming up with a solution which you believe is correct. Sir, this
Wait
is
a minute. Everybody comes up with solutions they believe to be correct.
Sir, this is the year...
Don't they?
I will call you sir out of respect because you're on the telephone and I am also.
Well,
but
whatever.
only for that reason.
The reason why I came up with a solution,
This is the year 2000, sir.
Yeah.
This is the year 2000.
I got it.
I am not responsible for my relatives of 150, 200, 500, 700 years ago, nor anything that I or other people who may believe the way I believe have done things that may not have been
Are you Catholic?
correct.
Are you Catholic?
Am I Catholic?
Yes.
Only because I was born a Catholic.
Well, what does that mean?
I'm married to a Thai who was one of those Eastern people you talked about.
Yeah, one of those people got the crap kicked out of them.
No.
Sure they did.
We help them every day.
Oh,
I
come
live
on.
in
The
Thailand,
Catholics
sir.
went over there and kicked their ass.
Sir, I live
well,
in... We kicked... Who's that? I'm sorry, sir. I wouldn't use those words.
The Catholics went over and kicked ass on the Chinese.
Sir, let me tell you something.
And
Thailand...
for all
the Catholics went over and kicked ass on the...
Dr. Green.
Yes.
First of all, Chinese are not Thai.
Do you enjoy listening to these minorities? Let's pay them off so they'll shut up is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry?
I said let's pay them off so they'll shut up.
So in other words, pay them off and they'll be quiet. You have no interest in whether these people have legitimate grievances. You just want to. You don't want to hear them. You don't want to hear them talking about all the problems they have.
Yeah, you got it.
I
got a headache listening to it. On the one
Dr.
side,
Green,
there's the Jews. On the other
Dr.
side,
Green,
the Chinese. Yeah?
Thank you. Would you mind if I say a word here and there? Okay.
Here and there? Yeah.
I live.
That's fine.
My wife is Thai. She is a Buddhist. I am a Catholic.
You guys have got a real messed up house.
No, sir. We have the most loving house in the world.
She's a Buddhist and you're a Catholic.
That's correct, sir.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? It's very easy. It's called love. Love, love. And that's what you need to understand.
Well, where do you go to church on Sunday?
Where do I go to church?
Yeah.
Wherever I feel is right for me. Go on. I want to hear your comeback on that now.
Wherever you feel is right for you.
That's correct. You know what?
So what do? You spend all day Sunday in the bathroom? I don't understand.
Okay, what do we got going here, all right? The guy's wife is Buddhist and he's a Catholic, so what's the next step? What else do you want to say?
I'm saying that I've got the most legitimate, logical answer to the problem, and everybody's giving me a hard time. I'm saying that money is the one thing in this society that people respect. We have laws and lawsuits. We solve litigation by way of money. People sue for money. But you bring it up when it comes to the Catholic Church, all of a sudden they're crying, oh, poor me. They pass that basket every Sunday. The Pope wears the finest clothes. They live in the finest houses. But all of a sudden when you mention money with the Catholic Church, they don't have any. Meantime, we sue Chrysler, we sue General Motors, we sue the asbestos makers, we sue the federal government, and it's all solved with money. Now I got all of these goody two-shoes telling me that money doesn't mean anything. I have a hard time, Mr. Hendrie, believing in the credibility of your show. I have a hard time believing in the credibility of your listeners. I think it's phony baloney that you have these set-up callers calling in.
Wait a minute, okay? You might have made a very good point when it came to money, but there's no set-up callers on this show. There's nobody set up calling in, all right? There's a lot of people here that just simply don't like your approach. And they don't like your idea of saying, write a big check and have it pay to the order of the Jews. And write a big check and have it pay to the order of the Indians. And the Pope pays his own water bill.
I didn't say he paid the water bill.
Well, what did you say?
I said he signed the check. Somebody else's money.